What's up, guys? Welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick and joined by
Corey.
Nice delayed reaction cross country there. So tonight we are taking a look at two very much well-known West Coast beers. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people what we're going to be taking a look at tonight.
Speedway Stout, the regular version, and then we're going to follow it by the barrel-aged Speedway Stout. Both coffee beers, both double imperial stouts. Pretty easy to get on the regular Speedway. I think everybody pretty much can get that around the country. 15 bucks depending on where you're at, I guess. Pretty solid beer, and price point's good. This one was a little bit more difficult to get. They do the annual sale online now with the limits, and you gotta buy it ahead of time and show up in person at the brewery. But not too bad. I want to say it was about $25 a bottle for the barrel-aged Speedway.
Nice. Yeah, the definitely the regular Speedway is out here a lot more now than it ever was before. It used to be like really hard. Like you might see one if you're lucky, but now it's like 15 bucks and it's everywhere. So that's cool. But I know the barrel aged one is like 10 times rarer than this because you have to get at the brewery. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can get them online. You can buy them online when the sales go out. But if you don't go in person to pick them up, they don't do proxies. They don't do like Reserve Society where you can have a trustee come get it. It's whoever's name's on the card and the ID that you register it with when you buy it. That's it. So, and they're really strict about it.
So I've only had the regular Speedway once, and it was absolutely incredible. I was blown away. I thought it was like one of the best non-barrel aged stouts I ever had. So I'm really excited to try that same beer in the barrel. So yeah, both 12% alcohol, and both brewed with local coffee from the Ryan Brothers in San Diego. Is that correct?
Yeah, Ryan Brothers, they have a local roaster over there, and they do that for all of them except when they get into the copies, but otherwise they stick with that.
And now we got these pretty much close to the right temperature. They say serve it at 50 to 55 degrees.
Yeah, I got 50 to 55 on my the back of my bottles.
Close enough, to get going. So with all that being said, let's get them cracked open and we'll kick off the review.
Cool.
All right, guys, so we're back and we've got both these Speedways poured. So what did you note as far as the pour goes on both of these, Corey?
A lot of carbonation. I mean, even on the barrel-aged version of it, lots of carbonation. You can see when it gives you a good amount of head. Depending on how you pour, obviously, but for a barrel-aged beer giving you head, both of them. This, obviously not this one, but this one had a kind of tint to the head color. Whereas you get more of a white out of this one, you get like this tan, like almost like the color of the barrel.
Definitely the non-barrel aged version poured definitely lighter, like a darker brown, and then the head on it was very light brown. And then on a barrel aged one, it was almost a black pour, and then with a darker brown head to it. And as you said, I actually can't believe I can notice the carbonation that was coming up on both of them was pretty strong, and there's a little bit of a head sitting around, but not much. So basically, the barrel aged is just a darker version of the regular one. So let's go ahead and start on an aroma on the regular version. Yeah, it just smells exactly like a super heavy dose of coffee, and definitely some chocolate notes.
It's straightforward. Its beauty is simplicity. It's exactly what you're expecting with what they're telling you. There's no surprises in it. You walk right into it and you're like, yeah, that's roasty, that's coffee, that's chocolatey. You get all those flavors as advertised. Real neat.
One thing I love about Speedway is that it's so much flavor in the aroma, like so many smells, that it masks the alcohol pretty much completely.
Yeah, I know. 12%. I'm not gonna lie. Game 6 of the NBA Finals was last night, and I was down at Huntington Beach, and the best thing they had on tap was the Speedway Stout. I mean, my feelings that night.
I remember drinking pints of that at Naj's place.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least at Naj's I didn't get twisted off of it like I did last night.
I can't believe they serve it in pints. It's ridiculous. So anyways, yeah, super heavy coffee. These are both fresh bottles, super roasty. Let's move on to the barrel aged smell. Now
I gotta be honest. As soon as we pop the bottle, I mean, you open that top, it's there. It just propagates the around you like a mist, like a big ass awesome fog of bourbony goodness. I love it.
Seriously, as soon as I cracked it, it was like I said to you, I was like, oh my god, this is like straight bourbon. All right, let's go ahead and get aroma. Okay, yeah. It smells to me very reminiscent of Bourbon County.
Exactly. It's exactly where I was leaving with it.
I can't even believe that they have this in a bottle of 750 milliliters. That is crazy.
And that's something that always got me like about the Bourbon Counties. I'm like, well, that just breaks my heart. I only got this little bottle.
I can't. All right, so let's talk about the flavors we're getting.
Let's just call this the Showstopper Speedway Stout.
All right, basically, huge bourbon. I mean, this is no joke. They did not skimp on the barrel here. They said this is aged for over a year.
Minimum of a year, yeah.
Super heavy bourbon notes to this. Definitely getting that vanilla, oak, chocolate.
It's a beer for the bourbon barrel aged lover. You know, it's not the one where it's the more subtle and balanced bourbon with the flavors like how you get sometimes with like the Quingenti milliliter series for Stone, the 2010 Old Guardian. I've had that one many times, and it's a real subtle, real balanced bourbon. And it tastes great for that beer. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about that one, but damn it, there's something that has me desiring just those bourbon counties where like the speedways which just smack you in the forehead with this bourbon and all this depth and flavor, and you get to just work it as it gets warmer.
I agree with you. I never smelt another bourbon forward barrel aged stout as much as this one in Bourbon County. I've never come across one.
You really get those like those wood, those wood flavors too, and some vanilla.
Tons of vanilla, tons of oak, tons of bourbon, dark chocolate, very dark chocolate fudge kind of notes to this. It smells about 1,000 times better than regular Speedway. However, I will say that I don't get a ton of coffee in the barrel aged one, but I do get a ton of coffee in the regular version. I think this got yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I gotta agree with you because that bourbon is so powerful. That aroma, you get a little more of an alcohol smell of it than the regular. But yeah, I'm not really picking up the coffee.
I can't believe they're both the same ABV, because like that's crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that one out actually. No, I mean, not even 1% higher.
So you want to go ahead and get a taste on both of these bad boys finally?
I am dying to get to. This never gets old. Even though I have them out here, I mean, these two are just tasty.
Oh, I like I said, I only had regular Speedway once, so this is a huge treat. So, all right, let's get a taste on regular Speedway Stout. Yeah. And I'll try to cheers you here, buddy. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Straightforward. I stick with how I was talking earlier. It's everything as advertised. It doesn't let you down.
This beer has such a creamy, full, chewy mouthfeel to it. It's incredible. It's as you said, it's everything as advertised. It's an imperial stout with coffee. I mean, tons and tons and tons of roasted coffee. Really smooth. It's got a nice, bittersweet kind of chocolate to it.
nice warming to aspect to it as you drink it.
Yeah, it really does. It has a nice warming.
Yeah, it gets kind of more on like the espresso side, I think.
Definitely espresso. But yeah, it's just really, like you said, I think it's very straightforward, but I don't want to underplay how good it is. I think it's amazing. It's just so smooth, and it's got tons of chocolate and coffee flavors going on in it, so it really is like a perfect non-barrel aged stout.
It's $15. It's $15, and you can find it nearly everywhere, and it was on Beer Advocate in the top 60 there, on the top 250 beers. It's sitting there side by side with Bourbon County and beers that aren't barrel aged, and it's $15. Jesus, God, that's a weekly beer. Hey, I just feel like having something good because I came home from work and my boss sucks, and this broad that I work with was nonstop yapping all day. I'm not talking from personal experience today at all.
But I guess the end thing to say about that beer is that it's world class. It's perfect in every way for what it is.
And the price point. For that great of a beer, that cheap, come on.
And it leaves you with that super nice like roasted coffee finish, like you just had some coffee.
It's giving me a Starbucks feel right now.
It really is. It's got that coffee bitterness in the end. So I just switched. I'm ready for the barrel aged.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude. I feel so fortunate to be able to taste these beers, man. You know how much I appreciate it.
Hey, and I guess side note before we get into this one, I know that AleSmith has set back some bottles of these barrel-aged series beers. For sure I know the Wee Heavy, and for sure I know the Decadence. They held some of those back off the sales for their tasting room. So you can go into their tasting room, even if you missed the sales, vacationing, or if you got a buddy, you can hook you up on the Beer Advocate trade or something like that. They might even have this on there now.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Oh, so excited. Smells just like Bourbon County.
There's just a sweetness to it. The way the bourbon,
oh my god,
the bourbon barrels mixing with all that coffee and everything, it gives you the sweetness. And it's like the finish. It's just the perfect finish of bourbon. It's not like an alcohol heavy. It's not a burning bourbon. It's the finish that you get after you have some bourbon, where it's just like that nice, all those wood characteristics, and just blending, fantastic.
I'll tell you what. I only took one sip, and I'll tell you what. Right, first time I ever had it, first sip. It is so silky smooth. I've never tasted a beer that was so freaking silky smooth in your mouth. Like even compared to the regular version where it was kind of creamy and like really chewy. This one is it's so slick. It's just so smooth and slick.
If you ask me, it's more drinkable than the regular. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna take another sip. You keep talking.
I find like even when I go on tap, the Speedway Stout's got a lot of carbonation to it, and then you got this one, it has all these like attractive flavors, and with the less carbonation, and they're all just tied in together so well that it's so super drinkable. It's fucking dangerous is what it is. It's dangerous.
I was afraid that I was gonna have trouble drinking this tonight because it was gonna be such a big beer.
No.
I think the only time I'm gonna feel like I'm in trouble is after I finish the bottle, because it's not gonna be hard to drink this at all. This is an exceptional treat. It's got so much going on. I don't even know where to begin. Like I said, first thing I noticed was the mouthfeel is ridiculous. Tons and tons of chocolate. Roasted malt. Obviously, there's no chocolate in this beer, which is crazy. It's just a roasted malt, so that alone is incredible. You get that charred oak, bourbon, vanilla, everything that's in the aroma, I think is pretty much it just hits you as soon as you take the first sip. The sweetness is like something you mentioned. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking you don't get more of it. Like how Bourbon County's really become easy to find, and I mean especially now that AB InBev has taken them over and hopefully don't fuck them up. But everything seems to be on track with that recipe and that beer, to where we've actually seen it on tap a couple offerings out here in LA with Bourbon County. But yeah, it would be amazing to see these guys get more production, and it has ramped up since the earlier releases.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So I just took another sip of them both. Regular Speedway has a shitload of carbonation compared to this. This is very, very low carbonation. This is very soft feeling in your mouth, kind of. Which makes sense, obviously, because it's barrel aged. Should be a lot less carbonation, anyways.
I was actually surprised at how much carbonation there was in it, pouring it. I was able to get a nice bit of head off of it, and it took a while to dissipate. And you still get a little bit in the mouthfeel, just a little bit of slight carbonation,
I think it's definitely less sweet than Bourbon County if we're going to actually compare those two, because they are very similar. These beers are very similar, Bourbon County and this, but this is less sweet, but I think it's actually easier to drink because of that. I think it's also 3% less alcohol, but
yeah,
this is ridiculously drinkable too. That bourbon smell, that barrel aging they did is just fantastic. It's world class. It's everything you expect and more, because like you said earlier, most breweries don't deliver on the barrel aging like the way they should. And this one really delivers.
Yeah. The fly that's in the room here with me loves it.
All right, so yeah, let's take a few minutes and sip on these for a little bit, and we'll think about some scores, and we'll come back with our final ratings, guys. Thanks.
All right, welcome back, guys. So we got our score sheets out, and we went through it, rated them. Right now on Beer Advocate, you've got so many reviews on this one, and they've ended up with a 98 on it, and the barrel aged version has 100. Went through, I scored it really high, obviously at the aroma, the mouthfeel, and the flavor. I all got great marks on my score sheet. I ended up the same way as Beer Advocate users, you guys. 98 on the regular version, 100 on the barrel aged. They're just two amazing examples of the style, and you can just see where those flavors go when you add the bourbon barrel aging to it, and the price. I mean, it's amazing. On the top 250 beers on Beer Advocate, you'll see all these next to each other, right there. Actually, Chocolate Rain has less reviews.
Yeah, the non-barrel age is number 49 of all the beers, and then this one is number 52, the barrel age. So that's out of all beers, and they're pretty close together rating wise.
And Chocolate Rain comes in right below these. They all have the exact same 4.44, I believe, review score, but based on the amount of views, obviously this has the most reviews. To get that many reviews to be better than something that's so coveted like a Chocolate Rain or this Barrel Aged Speedway.
Crazy.
And for $15, I keep saying that, man. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that we could get that so easy and so cheap.
The regular Speedway's year round now too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I'm gonna definitely tell you right now, 99 for the regular and 100 for the barrel aged. Absolutely killer beers. The regular version is world class. You are not gonna find a much better non-barrel aged stout in the world. It's perfect. It's got coffee. It's got a lot of that chocolatey, like roasted from the roasted malts, and it's just absolutely a dream to drink. Nice carbonation. 12%, you don't taste it. It's just a perfect example of the style for Imperial Stout with coffee. And like Corey said, the price point, you can't beat it. Okay, barrel aged version is a totally another animal. It is absolutely, it's like another step beyond. The barrel program, the AleSmith has that I've never had before is incredible. The only beer I can compare this to that's as good bourbon barrel aged is Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island, and I mean it's pretty much as good or better, definitely. Wicked low carbonation, silky smooth mouthfeel. So much bourbon, like so much vanilla oak bourbon.
Yeah, I just love how that oak comes through with that vanilla. Oh,
Comes through so strong, and as it warms up, like you'll be able to pull out like a lot more flavors now, like a lot more nuances and stuff. But it's really interesting having these side by side because it makes Speedway, regular Speedway, look almost weak compared to it because it's so intense, it's so aromatic and so flavorful. And I just love that they didn't skimp on the barrel aging in this one. It's really strong, but everything's well integrated. Everything makes sense, and nothing's too overpowering.
yeah, it's got a ballsy amount of bourbon, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, it just all blends together so good. I mean, you know, it doesn't turn you away in any way.
Sweet without being too sweet. It's got bourbon without having too much bourbon, and it's got everything the regular Speedway has. The only thing I would say, I don't know if you agree with me, is that there's not that much coffee in the barrel aged version. I'm not getting that much coffee, but
yeah, just like how it was on the aroma, I say the same thing. You get a little bit of that bitterness, with like bitter espresso at the end. But it's something now we really got it warm now. It obviously comes through a lot easier, but nowhere near as much this. I mean, you get the nice coffee beer with this, and this one, you know, the bourbon is so heavy it plays over a little bit, but it's not a bad thing at all.
Yep. So that's the review, guys. This is either one is killer. If you can get the barrel aged, it's worth trading for. I would absolutely say it's worth trading for. You know, pick up a bottle of Speedway. I'm sure you can find it in your area. It's probably going to be around. If not, you know, I would say trade for that too. You know, go for it. They're both insanely good. So.
And it seems like it's pretty tradable on Beer Advocate. I'm on the boards every day, and you know people aren't holding it as I don't know. It's not as hard to get as say a Chocolate Rainbow, because you don't have to pay for the Reserve Society membership and everything that goes with it. So you know it's out there and it's a little more available for trade, and it's fun. And all you rookies out there that are getting into this and just like, you know, getting your feet wet. These are great things to start with. You're trying to sell their beers. Even this, you lay this down for just like 6 months, something like that, and revisit it with a fresh bottle. It'll be a really eye-opening experience. This barrel-aged version is going to keep for a while, and the beauty about this one is that they're so straightforward. So if you're new to this, you don't have to be nervous about, oh, you know, I smell this, but I don't want to say it. It's going to be something straightforward where your feelings and your tastes are going to be picking out those flavors. They're really tasty, they're really out there, and you're not going to have to dig to find those flavors like you do in some beers. So go get them.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching this pretty awesome review. Corey was nice enough to share this stuff with me, and I couldn't be more excited to have tried it. I hope we did a good job for you guys. And with that being said, make sure you comment and let us know if you've had these beers. I'd love to know what you think of them both. And we'll see you guys in another epic What Cheers West Coast beer review very soon. So here we go. Cheers, man.
Cheers from the West Coast, guys.
Cheers to West Coast. See you next time, guys. Thanks.